Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Athletes Roundtable. This podcast is brought to you by Athletes Productions. I'm Jordan Score. This is
Ryan Murphy.
And today we have
John Khader.
All right, John, if you could just introduce yourself a little bit, your grade, your major, your hometown.
Yeah, so I'm John. I'm from Yonkers, New York. I'm a sophomore, and I'm studying business administration with a minor in criminal justice.
How did you get into track and field?
So I played football all of high school, and my the equipment manager actually told me, he was like, hey, you should try out track and field. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to run. I hate that. And he was like, no, throw shot put. And I never knew what it was until I watched Ryan Krause and Joe Kovacs. And I was like, wait, this is so dope. And so me and my boys joined as a joke. And then we started doing it more and more. And we're like, all right, this is kind of fun. We started doing a little banter. And then by junior year, I was like, all right, I think I want to do this in college. Because we were actually both pretty good. We both went to counties our senior year. We both placed. He went first and went third. And now I'm in college doing it, so it's still pretty fun.
How would you describe your position as being a thrower, in more depth, to people who may not know?
Yeah, so whenever I tell people I do track and field, they're like, oh, what do you run? And I kind of just dude, I don't run. And they just don't understand it. So I basically throw a 16-pound metal ball and then a 4-pound frisbee-looking object called a discus. At Iona, it's a little bit lonely because I'm the only thrower here right now. They haven't had a throw in 10 years, so I'm trying to bring it back here. And I practice at my high school. So I know all the grounds, which is great. But I enjoy it a lot because I practice slow. I can play with my country music as loud as I want, whatever I want to do. And no one really bothers me. But the only downside is no one's really correcting me besides myself.
Now, you said you were playing football. What position you play in football?
I was offensive guard.
Okay, so a lot of strength involved in that too.
Yeah.
You have to hit the gym a lot in football?
Yeah, football was 5 days a week in season. Off season was 6. And then it kind of transitioned over into here. Whereas right now we're in the preseason. I'm lifting 4 days a week right now.
Would you say the conditioning wise is the same between football and
football was a lot more high intensity running, high intensity. It was high intensity coaching. You got yelled at a lot more in football. You were kind of under scrutiny a lot more because going to Iona Prep, playing football there, we got number 1 in the state my senior year, so we were under a lot of lights and a lot of pressure. So I'm just constantly used to just under a stricter type of coaching. Whereas coming to track and field, it's a lot more laid back, at least in throwing, because it's more so about how you perform and what you do, not so much of who's watching you and who's gonna say something. But yeah, it's a little bit different, but I definitely like track and field coaching a lot better.
Sorry, go Jordan.
If there was a football team and Iona brought it back,
yeah, I would join.
Would you join?
I would quit.
But this time, try out for the quarterback.
Nope. No shot.
No, Iona Prep, I don't know if you've been following Iona Prep this year.
A little bit.
They're doing pretty good, right?
They're doing not too bad. They're a little bit undersized, but I think they're going to grow into their team. It's pretty young. A lot of their players left in college. Most of their team from the past 2 years have gone to Division I schools for college. So now they're just pulling up some sophomores, freshmen transfers. They got Ice Spice's little brother.
I know,
that's
pretty impressive. And he's ranked number 1 in the state, I think.
Yeah, he's a pretty good quarterback on paper. I haven't got to watch him in person, but I hope the best for him.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Imagine having that credential.
Yeah.
So, what made you choose to come to Iona?
Proximity, because I'm a boy out of 4 sisters, and so my mom wanted me home. She was like, "You're not leaving," and I kind of bummed me out because I wanted to go down south for school. But yeah, so it was between here and a couple other local colleges. But once I toured here and I saw the campus, I was like, dude, it has to be Iona. I cannot go anywhere else. And then I also fell in love with my teammates. I have an awesome group of friends on the team that are really supporting me, even though they're not a thrower, and that really helps me and keeps me grounded here.
So you have obviously a lot of meets, and you're the only thrower.
Yep.
How do you prepare for that? How do you mentally go into that and be it's just me right now?
Same thing I did in high school, whereas I train really hard throughout the week, and then once I get to the meet, it's kind of no stress, let it go. Basically, you train for this all you want. You can't train for it anymore. You might as well just trust yourself, trust your training, and go out there and do what you normally do. You've done it for the past 4 years. What's going to make it stop now?
Do you help other teammates because your position is like unique to the team.
Yeah.
Is there a way like you guys help each other?
In the weight room, I'm definitely like a voice in the weight room to be heard. I mean, most of the track teams are more calmer, being that they're doing a lot more like you have to really focus on the work that they're doing. My work is just like move the weight and don't worry about it. And so I'm definitely a loud person, keeping everyone motivated in the weight room.
Now, is javelin a part of track
Javelin
and field?
is. Javelin is.
But you
part.
don't do it.
I don't throw that.
Okay.
Just the shot put and discus.
Which one do you like better?
Discus is more fun. Shot put is probably like more rewarding to do it great.
So, how heavy is the discus? Do you know?
Discus 2 kilograms, which I believe is 4.4 pounds.
Okay. And you throw it not like a frisbee, I guess.
No, it's a what's it called, spin motion. I mean, there's videos on YouTube if you wanted to look it up, but yeah.
I like watch videos you guys like throwing it. It just seems like so hard to do.
It's definitely a lot of technique. Like everyone thinks it's all strength, like it's all technique.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have bad technique but you're really strong, you're still gonna get it out there, but you're not gonna make it to that elite level.
So, coming from a football background, I'd say, was your training? I know you said lifting was the same kind of.
Yeah.
But like, was your specific training? Did you have to do like different workouts?
Yeah, so football was a lot more like the weight room and on-field practice didn't really correspond to each other. Whereas like on-field, you're just doing like running, mobility drills. Weight room, you're doing bench, squat, compound lifts. But in track and field, like the stuff I'm doing in the weight room corresponds to my field. So like I'll do a lot of like hip turns. I'll do a lot of like shoulder mobility, and like I'll do it in the motion that I throw the shot put in. Or like I keep my arms long like I'm gonna throw the discus. That way it's like muscle memory starting from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. You were talking earlier about how you're like a voice in the weight room.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite part of track and field
Lifting,
as a whole?
yeah.
Or lifting?
Lifting is so much fun.
How much do you bench?
So my unofficial max is 295. I hit that in May with Coach Juan. Shout out to Coach Juan. And I'm going for 315, I believe, in a week.
Nice.
So, as a thrower, how does your like practice schedule go throughout the week? Because I know obviously as a runner you'd just be running every week.
Yeah.
But like, are you just throwing every day?
No, so last year I was really excited to get to college and start throwing, so I kind of burned myself out too early. So I started throwing 16-pound full throws in like September, which was like outrageous. And like my coach told me not to do it, and I like didn't listen to her. But whatever, we're not gonna talk about that one. But yeah, so now I just throw 1 day a week in reference to full throws. The second day I do just like standing throws, just hip releases, wrist releases, just to get myself warmed up. And then the first day I actually do acceleration drills with the sprinters.
Do you like show them up and try and beat them or not?
Nah, I mean I definitely talk, but like that's just having a football background. Like you always got to trash talk, hype everyone else up.
Yeah.
Does that help at all? Doing the sprinting? Do you think?
It actually, I mean, I tell my teammates all the time, like, yo, I feel a little bit more athletic nowadays. Like, getting off of my toes and leaning forward starts. I mean, it makes me feel better. I don't know how it's going to transfer into the circle, but I'll probably see that difference coming in around December when it's meet season.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you say you have like too much pressure being a college athlete?
I don't know, actually, because I kind of feel it sometimes because during like conferences and during like bigger meets, I'm the only like chance of there being throwing points. So like I do feel it then, but I kind of just try to like understand that they're not counting on me too much and they're not trying to put a lot of pressure on me. But I always end up piling it on myself. But I'm learning to deal with it better and better as these conferences go on.
So as those things that you have to deal with, has there ever been a time where you had like a very tough setback, like either an injury or I don't know, just something mentally maybe?
Yeah. So indoor conferences, my first year. So what was that? December, January, probably February, we had the indoor conference in the Armory, and I had like my worst throwing. I think I threw like literally like 9 meters, fouled 2 of them. And like I had no one to really coach me on it. I had the sprinter coach which was filming me, but I just like wasn't receiving like what I really needed to get. And she was doing her best, so it's not her fault or anyone's fault. But that was hard mentally for me to handle because I was like, I'm usually good in these bigger meets and I understand like how to control the pressure. But like for some reason I just collapsed and like I wouldn't let it go for like a month. I just kept talking about it to my parents and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like this has never happened to me before. Like it's in college too, so it's on a bigger stage. And for a while I thought about transferring, but then I stopped actually. I'm gonna stay here.
So what brought you out of that?
out of the transfer.
No, out
idea?
of the slump of like.
Oh, just understanding that like there's more seasons to come. Like I have a lot more time here. I'm still transitioning from the high school weight, which is 8 pounds. I was 12 pounds, sorry, and then the college weight 16. So I kind of had to cut myself a little bit slack. Like I'm not really working with a full-time coach. I don't have any other teammates to push me harder, so I'm really just trying to do this all by myself. And I put a lot of pressure on me my freshman year, and now I'm trying to lighten up the load and just like push myself at a more reasonable rate.
So being the only thrower on the team and also being a sophomore, how were you able to learn like lessons your freshman year to help you for like the next upcoming years?
It got philosophical, I feel like, my freshman year, because I was always looking for like a number instead of a feeling. So I could get that really good number I wanted, but if I don't remember how I felt, I'm never going to get it again. So I realized my sophomore year to stop looking for goals and reasons of like numbers and in reasons of like metric, but look for it in like feelings. Like how do I feel on the release? How do I feel on the reversal? And if I feel it really well, I know it's going to be a good throw. So that's more of a better way to look at it. And so I'm kind of excited to see how that goes come mid-season.
So you said you would drop everything if Iona started to do a football program.
I probably
if you were going to get on the team.
If I was going to get on a team as offensive lineman, I would have to have a serious conversation with the coaches.
So I imagine that you miss football quite a bit then.
Yeah. College football season has really made me miss playing football, especially watching these big guys play. And I spoke to a couple of my other teammates like during practice, and I'll just be like, man, like I'm kind of bored right now. I want to just play football. I want to hit someone.
What do you think of Colorado?
It's funny. I was just watching their game. I don't know. So like they have like Deion Sanders, like prime time, like great coach. His son's actually a pretty good quarterback. Can't even be mad about it. But I'm kind of worried about Travis Hunter. He's still in the hospital. And I kind of feel like he was like the lifeline of their team.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're actually a really good team, like a prime contender, or if it's all about hype.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a lot of hype around them, but I think their biggest struggle is the defense. Like, I mean, obviously you can just see based on the scores. Like, sure, they're playing tough teams, but like they should not be giving up 40
Yeah, they're not
points
holding
every
them to
game.
points. Like they're allowed to score the points, but they can't really hold them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their offense is very good.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. They have some weapons on that team.
I was so happy when Oregon won against them, though. Like,
when they beat them,
yeah,
they like crushed them.
Everyone was
so
saying
happy.
like, "Oh, Colorado's gonna win." I was like, guys, like Colorado's beat some teams, but
they're
like
not beating Oregon.
these are big boys now. You know what I mean? Like this is when you're really gonna see if they're gonna compete or not.
True.
And when they lost, I was kind of like not really surprised because I was like, guys, it's Oregon. Like, let's be honest here. But I mean, they did their best, so they got a couple more games to go on. Who do they play next? Do we know who they play next yet or no?
I don't know next week. I know this past week was USC.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
That was a good one, too.
I thought they were going to complete the comeback.
You know what was a really good game?
Which one?
The Duke game.
Duke Notre Dame? Yeah.
That was a sick game to watch.
Notre Dame won that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, and I think the Duke quarterback, did he get hurt?
I don't remember seeing that one.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that. But yeah, no, that was
that fourth quarter, like last 3 minutes, was like the most exhilarating part of that game.
What do you guys say? College football is better than NFL?
That's actually my hot take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my hot take is college football is better than NFL.
I disagree. I can't stand for that.
So we get into the hot takes right now?
Let's get into hot takes right now.
Let's
start it off.
You want
right
to go
now.
first?
Yeah, I mean, college football is better than NFL. I mean, they got a lot more to play for. They're playing to get in the league. NFL players are kind of just keeping, and they're just trying to have their job. You know what I mean? Another season. But I also like in college, it's new players every 4 to 5 years. So like the teams are always constantly changing. Kind of like how 6 years ago I'd probably put it at like Clemson was like at an all-time high. Now it's like who's really like a Clemson team. Everyone's worried about Alabama, Georgia, those kind of teams.
The biggest thing I have against, I'm not with you. I think that the NFL is better than college football. Like I like watching college football. It's fun. But you have your teams that are going to be good like every year, pretty much. And you only have the 4 teams in the playoffs, which pretty much means most of the teams are not going to make it. And most teams don't even have a chance of making it, which I don't like at all. I know they're changing the rules to 12 teams, I think, in a couple years, 10 or 12. But the problem that I have with college is that because of the big schools, that they're such powerhouses, that they're just going to keep getting the best players, and that leaves like very little chance for like upset.
Like the mid-level or the bottom levels, like
right,
never
exactly. And like even with the NIL now, especially, I think it's going to be even bigger because the bigger schools are going to have the bigger outlets to get the athletes bigger contracts, so they're going to make more money. And I just feel like that's how it is. And
Oh yeah, college football's a big pyramid scheme, but like
Yeah.
it is really fun to watch those games.
I would agree that college football is better than the NFL.
Interesting.
Like the NFL, it's more like even. Like you got the Chiefs and the Eagles for like the top teams, but college, you're right. Like there's only 4 top teams. It's like Clemson, LSU, Georgia, Alabama, the top dogs. But I really like college of like how it changes teams like every 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like it's Clemson with Deshaun Watson, and then it's LSU with Joe Burrow. Now it's like Alabama.
Yeah.
And I also like how they're playing for something too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Johnny Manziel back in college was insane.
That's what I'm saying.
And now he's not in the NFL. So
Yeah.
it's like I'd rather watch the people ball out in college. You know?
I think the rivalries go a little bit deeper too, though.
that's fair. Yeah.
The rivalries are much higher stakes in
Yeah.
college, I'd say, than in NFL.
like that
The
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma-Texas game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
When,
one's
like,
coming up
Baker
this
Mayfield-
Saturday.
Was it Oklahoma, Texas when Baker Mayfield like brought the flag out and was like running around and then
I don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
It's
remember that one.
too many years ago for me.
yeah. But college football with the rivalries is a lot better.
I will say that being like in college and a part of a D1 program, like the fan base is I think much stronger than and like I'm like the biggest Jets fan that you'll ever meet probably, but like if when Iona was in March Madness, like I was going crazy, and like I'll still rewatch the game sometime, like the first half at least, not the second half, but but against the game against UConn, and I'm like feeling it again. I'm like, all right, oh, Barrick John Luis,
Even when Iona played Alabama, I believe that was last year, right?
I think that was
a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, like even when they got into there, and you're like, all right, Alabama's not a basketball school, but it's still University.
I think they were number
of
9,
Alabama.
right?
Yeah. And so to see our guys go against them and like kind of keep up at their pace is awesome to watch, being from a small Division I school.
Yeah, and I remember it was Thanksgiving actually that the game was happening, and like my family had just like finished dinner, and usually like I'm helping with the dishes of course, but like the game was on, I'm like, Dad, like you think I can watch this game? And I was like glued to the TV, and it was the greatest moment.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I would say that March Madness is probably the best sports tournament ever.
I agree.
Like maybe the World Cup is a great tournament.
Yeah.
It's like the most watched, but March Madness is so fun to watch because like anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, it represents everyone pretty equally, I'd say. Like, everyone has a team in March Madness.
I'm also kind of biased because it's a March Madness.
Yeah,
But
no, I would have to agree with you 100%. That
Like,
March Madness does it the best.
The crowd when Iona was playing UConn, like everyone just booing Rick Pitino was insane.
Yeah.
Even UConn, when UConn won, my cousin goes to UConn, and she said when we beat you guys, like, they tore down the school. Like, they were tearing down light post trees.
Yeah.
So they definitely go a little bit harder.
For sure. But the March Madness is, I think, by far the best tournament because there's so many upsets. And, like, although I still think the NIL is going to change it a little bit and the top schools are still going to be the top schools, basketball, since it's one game, like, anything could really happen. And I know it's similar in football, but since there's more players in football, it's like, it's not really, there's not too much chances of an upset because there's not 64 teams in the playoffs.
Well, it happened last year, too, with FDU beating Purdue. Which was insane.
That was big.
Yeah. That was huge. And like, you would never think that because I think their tallest guy was 6'7".
They were,
And they were playing against Zach Edey, who's like 7'2", I think, or something. So, like, I don't know how in the world they stopped him, but they got it done.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
I would say my hot take is related to sports, but it might be the hottest take that Eli Manning is better than the GOAT. No, he's not even the GOAT. I don't know why people call him the GOAT, but Eli Manning's better than Tom Brady.
It's a bold take.
Eli Manning beat him twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, you gotta. I mean, he does have the rings.
Twice in the Super Bowl. So that's your only argument for it?
Yeah, like, Tom Brady had Bill Belichick, maybe like a better defense. Tom Brady also got saved like 3 times with Spygate, Deflategate, Tug Rule. And Eli Manning just went in and just one of the Super Bowls was against the undefeated Patriots team. It's like how are you going to be undefeated and then lose to the guy?
I wouldn't say that he's better overall. I would say probably on like the big stage, if it's 1-on-1, I'm taking Eli Manning according to his record. But like in a regular season matchup, I'm taking Tom Brady.
That's fair.
I
I think when it's like the biggest game of the year, give me Eli Manning over Tom Brady.
I strongly disagree. I think the defense absolutely carried the Giants in those Super Bowls, and Eli Manning was there. Not that he was bad. Not saying he was bad, but no, the defense was a big part of that.
You can even say Nick Foles is better than Tom Brady too. If you beat him in the Super Bowl.
That I'll get behind. No, just kidding.
No, but I think Eli Manning, not like winning once, maybe you can say it was a fluke game, but winning twice. It's insane.
You got a point.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's a fair
argument. I don't know if I'm going to agree with it.
Yeah, it's just not good enough for me, at least. But my hot take, I'm a big Jets fan, as everyone knows. And it's really hard to make some Jets hot takes this year. However, my hot take, the Jets will make the playoffs this year. Now, you might be thinking, how, Ryan? How are the Jets going to make the playoffs? But here's how they're going to do it. All right, Zach Wilson looked very good against the Chiefs this week. He started to hit his stride.
Didn't you guys want to trade him, though, like last week?
Oh, yes. Yes, we did, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
A little bipolar in the Jets front office.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, all the fans, and they were saying that we wanted to trade him, but no. We signed Trevor Siemian to the practice squad. Like, that's all we did.
So you guys are set.
Yeah, we're set. Yeah, we have got a solid backup plan. But no, obviously the Jets defense, very good. We had a strong chance to beat the Chiefs. After the first quarter, when they scored 17 points, we let up 6 points the rest of the game in the final 3 quarters. We outscored them 20-3 in the second and third, I believe. It was tied 20-20. Very questionable calls by the refs in the final quarter there. They had a 10-minute drive. There was a clear, obvious holding call against the Chiefs that was not called. They're holding Jermaine Johnson when Mahomes had that 20-yard run for the first down. And that holding call on Sauce Gardner was not a good call at all. And they threw the flag way late. So, the refs knew the script. And
they knew the script.
I think the refs sold the fourth quarter. Robert Saleh was very upset, and I agree with that. But Zach Wilson was looking very strong in that game. And
until it's next week when he throws 2 interceptions and you guys want to trade him.
We're playing the Broncos next week, so we better be winning.
If you guys lose to the Broncos,
that's
yeah, we got to have a conversation about this one.
We'll have you back on the podcast and we'll talk about it again.
No, but I would agree if the Dolphins and the Bills were in a new division. I just think those two teams.
The Bills pose a threat.
Yeah. Here's the thing I think. All right, the Dolphins. Well, let's first start off with the Bills because obviously the Jets beat the Bills. It was probably a fluke game. It probably was, but it was still a win for them. So let's say the Jets split 1-1 with the Bills. Dolphins, we haven't played them yet. Dolphins look very strong on offense. However, they were also strong on offense last year. They were I would say, arguably just as strong, but they were like bipolar, basically. They were 1 week they were insane, scoring 70 points, and the next week they were not shut out. They were they lost 48-20 to the Bills, right? So they're up and down. Sometimes they're going to get a lot of points, sometimes they're not. And I think the Jets defense is very strong and should be able to stop them defensively at least. And I don't know how strong their defense is, to be honest. Miami's defense.
I just don't get the hype around Sauce Gardner.
He's pretty good.
Jordan, do you want to hear a couple stats?
I
think he was targeted twice last night. One of them was that bad holding call, and the other one was a 6-yard Travis Kelce catch.
Yeah, but if you're a star on your defense, right? How are you guys 1-3, right? Shouldn't he shouldn't
he's not the whole team though.
Okay, when we played the Bills, not the Bills. Who was this week 2?
Sauce Gardner had a wide open interception the other week.
Yes, he dropped a interception.
How do you drop it if you're so good?
When Stephon Diggs went off in that one game, he had 1 catch on Sauce Gardner. He was not targeted.
Why didn't they put him on Stephon Diggs though to try and prevent
that? That's a coaching decision, not him. But it's basically
handle Stephon Diggs.
It's basically a Darrelle Revis Island.
Make him look good.
It's a Revis Island out there. Sauce Gardner is just very good.
Very talented. If you guys had Aaron Rodgers, I would consider you guys Super Bowl contenders. If you had Aaron Rodgers.
I would too. He's trying to make a comeback this season.
He's going to make a comeback in the Super Bowl game?
We can make it somehow that way, but
yeah.
Hey, I'll put my trust in Zach for this week. I can't go further than that right now.
You also got Trevor Siemian, it seems like, on the backup.
Trevor Siemian seems very promising.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know much about him, but he seems promising.
You guys need Mike White.
Mike White's on the Dolphins now, but if Zach Wilson plays like he did on the Chiefs game, then we're gonna win a lot of games. That's what Robert Saleh said, and that's what I'm sticking with as well. But that's my Jets hot take.
Loyal fan. Can't be mad.
Yeah.
I just thought the Chiefs were gonna blow out the Jets too. So I was a little bit shocked at how close the Jets kept
I'd agree with that one. I was shocked at how they played very well for
You
a
see
Chiefs team.
Zach Wilson outperformed Patrick Mahomes for the first time ever in Patrick Mahomes' NFL or college career.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I didn't see that actually.
Yeah,
Wow.
the first time an opposing quarterback did better than Patrick Mahomes. And, it's Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is better than Patrick Mahomes. That's my hot take.
Uncle Zach. Uncle Zach did pretty
can't
well.
take it.
Who's that fireman?
Fireman Ed?
Yeah. Wasn't Fireman Ed crying in his car like
Probably.
not this past weekend, but the weekend before that,
Probably.
saying that they needed to trade Zach Wilson?
Probably, yeah.
And now you guys love Zach Wilson.
It's one game, Jordan.
Jets fans are so bipolar.
It's bipolar. Yeah, that's what it comes down
What
to.
do you want from us? We literally have lost for 10 years.
I'm a Vikings fan. I
They have
know.
no trust.
I'm a Vikings fan, and I know that we're never gonna win a Super Bowl, ever, probably in the next 50 years. So
Wow. You wouldn't
just
say that
embrace
last
it.
year. You said you were gonna win last year.
I thought we were gonna win last year, and then I see how our team can't win more than one game. We should be at least 2-2. I feel like Justin Jefferson's a beast, but if we keep on playing like how we are, he's gonna leave us.
I mean, historically, I'm a Cowboys fan, so that's been a whole slew of problems. So
a little better than the Jets, though. Still.
yeah, I mean, they start off hot and then they just don't for the rest of the season. Basically,
They did really well this year. I mean, this week, right?
Yeah.
The
They beat the Patriots. The only thing that only helped to a field goal.
Yeah, and they scored 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
the Cowboys defense looks so good.
Except against the Cardinals.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
Really good team. I mean, really good scores, but who are the teams that we're playing? You know what I mean?
What about C.J. Stroud? He's looking
good.
very
Yeah.
good. I think he's averaging 300 yards right now, and for a rookie, that's very impressive. I don't know. I think they have very promising starter right now.
Who do you guys think is gonna win the Super Bowl this year? An early prediction.
Honestly, you can't ask me. I haven't watched much of NFL this year. I've watched a lot of college.
You can go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, by default, I go with the Cowboys. I put my faith in Dak Prescott, Uncle Dak.
I honestly, I'm gonna go 49ers here, and 49ers or Eagles. I think that the not the East. What am I saying? That's NBA. The AFC is much stronger than the NFC, but I think the 49ers and Eagles are better teams right now than the Chiefs, the Bills. Bengals aren't looking good at all, but
I put the Niners definitely in the bowl.
yeah.
I just think Christian McCaffrey is just a special player. I think once he retires, we're not gonna see another Christian McCaffrey, because he had 3 touchdowns in the first half. It's you got Adrian Peterson before that, Barry Sanders before that, Christian McCaffrey, but I think if you have Christian McCaffrey in your team, you're a Super Bowl contender.
I think say that to Carolina,
True, but Carolina had no one around.
Yeah, so that
49ers
defeats
have
your
a good
purpose.
defense.
Yeah, they have a great defense. They have a great offense. Are they undefeated right now?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Because Brock Purdy's been almost undefeated, if not undefeated, in all the games that he's played in, minus the one he got hurt in.
Purdy might be the next Tom Brady.
Oof,
Maybe.
that should have been your hot take.
Mr. Irrelevant
That should have
to
been your
Mr.
hot take.
Relevant.
Yeah. But I would say the Bills, because my brother's a Bills fan, so I'm gonna be biased towards the Bills. I have no faith in the Vikings, so just hope the Bills win.
Kind of feel bad for you.
Nah, I don't. It's we've been used to this, and also the Bills never won a Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
So hopefully soon.
You see the
when we
stat
can do
where Kirk Cousins is on pace to go
it.
6,000 yards, 40 touchdowns. I don't know if that was the right. I don't remember the number of touchdowns, and go 0-17. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I wanna go on to a different section of the hot takes, if you don't mind me,
Let's
Jordan.
do it.
I want to go into TV shows / movies, and my hot take: The Godfather, way overrated.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh
I
wow!
watch it.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Okay.
I'm also I don't know. I feel like people who are Italian take it to a different level. I'm not Italian personally.
I'm a little Italian. And
I have no Italian in me, so I'm gonna go. It's a little bit overrated. Yeah.
I just think okay, don't get me wrong. It's a fine movie, and it was the first of its kind, and it was very good. All right, and it's time. But like Goodfellas is way better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Goodfellas is so good.
That's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
say next. Yeah, Goodfellas is so much better.
Yeah.
I just love that cast and like the plot of that movie. It was
Yes.
so good.
No. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I started watching Goodfellas one night, and I had to go to bed because I had something early the next morning, and I still haven't seen the last 30 minutes of it, and I'm like waiting of Goodfellas. I know, and that's like I literally couldn't stop watching it. I'm like, I need to go to sleep, and I was like, ugh. And I haven't gotten around to it. It's crazy.
I'd say Sopranos was probably the first of its kind, and one of the best TV shows, if not the best TV series to come out.
The Sopranos has a lot of people love it. My roommate, my freshman year, loved The Sopranos. He watched it a ton. I ended up watching it a good amount because he always had it on, but it was fine. Like
the Jets redid their opening.
Oh,
in
really?
Hard Knocks, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they did a good
shoot.
job actually. Shout out Adam Salah if he's watching this. Good job.
Yeah, well, that's
I
fine.
would say my favorite TV show might not be the best, but it's up there. Is Breaking Bad.
I haven't watched it actually.
I haven't seen
I've
it
heard a
either.
lot of
Really?
good things about it though.
Me too.
Breaking Bad starts off pretty slow. Like I was
Yeah.
trying to get my brother to watch it. He was like, "Oh, it's just super boring." It's like really boring the first 2 to 3 episodes, and then it just picks up like right away. And it's just like a roller coaster of a TV series, and it's like a bunch of like plot twists and like the ending, like the last season. I think it's got like 2 episodes that are like they like ranked it like perfect. It was like the last season is insane. So I would definitely recommend Breaking Bad.
You know, I got another hot take that I was just thinking of in my head. I think, let's see, are they all Netflix? Hold on.
Stranger Things is one of the best shows too.
I disagree. I don't like
No,
Stranger
yeah,
Things. I'm not a
disagree on
huge
that one.
fan.
That kind of went downhill.
Okay,
3
I'll
years
just
ago.
go specifically within Netflix. I was gonna include Star Wars: The Clone Wars in here, but I will not. I will stay away from that. But I think Netflix animated shows are better than all of Netflix originals. I love Cobra Kai, but
Netflix
Scooby-Doo
anime
Mystery
shows?
Incorporated, absolutely amazing.
Scooby-Doo's a really good
Avatar: The Last Airbender, absolutely amazing.
Naruto.
I haven't seen Naruto.
You've never seen Naruto?
No.
And
Death Note though, oh, amazing.
You should watch Naruto. Naruto and Attack on Titan.
Attack
if
on
you
Titan I
really
have
like
to watch.
anime.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan and Naruto.
But yeah, I think that animated Netflix shows are considerably better than.
I haven't watched any of those shows.
You haven't seen any of them?
No. I'm watching on Netflix right now. I'm watching Longmire. I
Really?
don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I have not.
It's like a Western detective like crime show. It's pretty good.
Dang. I don't know that one. But Avatar: Last Airbender. Oh,
Okay.
I watched the first 2 seasons this summer, and I got to college, and I haven't had any time, unfortunately, but to watch the 3rd season. But I'm so excited to watch it whenever I get a chance.
On the high school football team, everyone watches what's that one you said
Death
about?
Note?
Yeah.
That's
they,
a good
They
one.
all watched that one.
Yes, I would suggest
Because
that
they would
one.
all talk about it. I just had nothing to
It's
say.
like 36, 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there like, yeah, it sounds great.
It's very good. Would suggest. Anyone disagree with me? Like, you said you loved, what was the show you loved? Stranger Things?
Stranger Things when I was like younger.
You going back on what you just said?
No, well, Stranger Things is definitely one of like the best Netflix original shows, 100%. Anime though, I would say Naruto's the best, and then Breaking Bad is probably my now favorite show.
See, like, Cobra Kai is the biggest argument against it. I love Cobra Kai, even though some of it is like kind of stupid.
Cobra
It's
Kai is good.
very good.
I don't like Outer Banks.
I haven't seen Outer
Yeah,
Banks.
I don't like
Outer
Outer
Banks.
Banks
You
either,
haven't liked
actually.
it?
No. I watched the first 2 episodes and I just like could not get into it.
And then what's the Squid Games? Squid Games was all right.
Squid Games was pretty
It was
good.
like pretty good, but like
Didn't watch it.
it's like you got to get on. you
Did
gotta
not
get on
watch
these.
it.
I wish that Netflix still had The Office on it.
Yeah, The Office
That
was good.
That was nice.
That might have changed my opinion if The
And
Office
then
was on it.
Now we got to get Peacock, Hulu,
I know.
Amazon Prime for
Way too
like
many.
Thursday Night Football.
I mean, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I'm a pretty big rom-com guy.
Rom-coms are good.
Rom-coms are kind of good.
See, I can get behind a few rom-coms. Well, first off, I like to say I love Hallmark movies. Like Christmas Hallmark movies.
Like those are pretty good.
Those are great, but those aren't necessarily
Holiday in
rom-coms.
Handcuffs. The best Christmas movie.
It's a bold take there. We might have to cut that one out. Just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but the Hallmark movies, very good. But I don't know if are those considered rom-coms?
I don't know, because like
comedies?
I say rom-coms, but I like the movies I'm thinking of are just like romantic movies.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Like,
no, that's fine.
Not a big crier, but like if I'm gonna watch Notebook, like I'm definitely gonna let a couple out in the end. You know what I mean? Like
I've never seen The Notebook, actually.
really?
Yeah. Have you seen it, Jordan?
Bring the tissues. Like in
Okay.
the end.
I
I don't want to spoil it.
I don't think I've
though.
ever seen Titanic too.
I've seen Titanic. It's not.
Yeah, I've seen it like
It's
3
not.
times, and none of them really did it for me.
I haven't cried to a movie or a TV show in like very long time, since
Really?
in high school at least. I just don't really cry in general, but
I think the last movie that like got me teared up a little bit was Planet of the Apes. It was like the last movie, and it was like Caesar died, and like
spoiler
pretty touching.
alert, Jordan.
Oh,
Gosh,
my bad.
I'm just
Well,
kidding.
it
I haven't
came out,
seen it.
like,
I haven't
10
seen
years
any of them.
ago.
I'm just
But
kidding.
like I just remember me and my dad in the theaters, and we were both just like crying because like Caesar ended up dying.
Dang.
It was so sad, but Caesar was the best in that movie, hands down.
The last movie that I ever like even teared up a little bit for was Collateral Beauty, probably like 3 years ago with Will Smith. Very, very good movie. Very sad, very touching.
I don't watch
it. Would suggest it. I don't know how good it was, but it was sad.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's your favorite rom-com?
I don't know if this is considered a rom-com, but I like When Harry Met Sally.
I haven't seen it.
That came out, and I want to say like the 90s. Pretty good one though. Kind of funny.
Who was in that movie? It was.
Dude, I don't even know. My sister was watching it one day, and I like caught her in the middle of it. So then I kind of just like watched it on my own, and I was like laughing, but then I suddenly was like crying a little bit, and I was like, "This is like a roller coaster of emotions right now."
My favorite rom-com, 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I've seen that twice now. I think that's
Friends with
up
Benefits
there.
is pretty funny too.
I haven't seen that one.
It's got Mila Kunis is in it,
Okay.
and then
Justin
I want to
Timberlake,
yeah,
right?
Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake, yeah.
Interesting. You know, sorry, you go.
What is Ted considered?
Ted is not a rom-com.
Ted?
Rom-com.
Ted like with the teddy bear?
Yeah, the teddy bear.
That's just
That is a
comedy.
great movie.
That's a good
Definitely
one though.
just comedy. Yeah, I was thinking
All-
that too.
There's what, 3 of them? Two of them?
Two.
Two of them? Yeah, they're both really funny.
Yeah. I like the first one a lot better than the second one, but the second one has really funny
Yeah.
moments too.
The original was like always funnier.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
the second one was like a good addition.
It was Ted is my favorite comedy, I must say.
Oh, that was a good bring up actually. I forgot about that one until you just said it.
You think of it because Mila Kunis?
Huh?
Do you think of it because of Mila Kunis?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Is it a rom com? I mean, there is romance in it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of sad, like the way they kicked out Ted in the movie. Was
Oh, so that's a little
sad
touching
shit.
too, actually.
Yeah.
Didn't cry, but it was a good one.
I cried. I was like, dang.
Oh, wow.
They just kicked out the teddy bear.
Yeah, I know. It comes.
I was like-
it comes at bad times.
That's
I know.
devastating.
Your
yeah.
best friend that you grew up with. you
Your
just
boy,
kick him out,
and then he's
like-
just not there anymore.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, it was very touching for me. Not gonna lie.
Brings back all the memories.
It does.
Uh,
No, but I would say best movie, Avengers: Infinity War.
Best movie ever?
Yes, best movie ever.
I can't agree with you, but it's a very good movie. Have you seen Avengers: Infinity War? There's no way you say no right now. No way. That's crazy. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't a big superhero guy. I like
Okay.
Batman a lot.
Batman is my
big
favorite.
Batman guy. Iron Man was like pretty good. I was gonna go with like I don't know if it's a hot take because I feel like a lot of people agree with this one, but like Wolf of Wall Street was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I think it's a crazy story. Didn't really like the movie. Like, it was too crazy for me. But if it wasn't a true story, I wouldn't like it at all. Since it's a true story, it makes it a little better. But
I like came into college and I was like, yeah, I want to do finance. Like I want to be just like Wolf of Wall Street. And then when I got to my first finance class, they were like, all right, guys, why are you guys here? And I was like, Wolf of Wall Street. And they were just like, this is not what it's
this
going
is
to be
not
like.
for you.
And so I spoke to my counselor like 2 weeks after, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Dang, Wolf of Wall Street, it's fine. I definitely like Avengers: Infinity War better. But my personal favorite, The Dark Knight.
The Dark
That's a
Knight's a
great
solid
movie.
one. I do like The
Unbelievable.
Dark Knight.
Like
That's a great movie.
I've watched it probably like 7 or 8 times, and
Yeah.
every time I'll be like, wow, that was better than I remembered. It's
Even
just, like,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, have you seen Into the Spider-Verse? The
I
animated
haven't
one.
seen the new ones.
What
Okay.
Spider-Man movie are we talking about? though?
Yeah.
The first
To-
one.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
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 Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man.
Yeah,
ever.
no, he
Spider-Man
is
3?
like he is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie,
You've
I
never seen
don't
the
think
movie?
I've seen any of the Tobey Maguire ones.
Oh wow.
So
I know.
How
So,
the tables
think
have
I've-
turned.
I've
you saw
only
like Tom Holland and
I saw Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield's, I think.
Andrew Garfield was very underrated, I would say.
Yeah, they're
The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, right?
I think so, yeah.
I thought both were really, really good.
As much as I love all the Spider-Mans, well, the last one that just came out, the live action one, Spider-Man, no.
You
I
didn't
can't
like
think-
that one?
No, I did. I
What was
loved
one
it.
called to home?
Spider-Man No Way Home?
No Way
Yeah,
Home.
No Way
That's
Home?
it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't think of it. That one was very good.
I saw the
Good
movie
soundtrack.
5 times in
Really,
the
the
theaters.
soundtrack was amazing.
Good
Yeah.
soundtrack.
I went 5 times in the theaters
To see No
watch
Way
that
Home?
movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It was, that was a very
Number
good
one
one,
customer.
I
That was
must
a good
say.
one.
However,
I give them all their money.
this might be a hot take, but probably not. But I think that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse is the second one. I'm not sure, but those Spider-Man movies, the animated ones,
Yeah.
better than all of the other Spider-Mans.
Not Tobey Maguire's though. Tobey
Yeah,
Maguire's
Tobey
is-
Maguire's.
Like on
Pure
a different
comedy.
level, yeah.
Yeah. Spider-Man 3 makes no sense at all, but it's just like an amazing put together movie. That just doesn't make sense.
Have you seen the Spider-Verse movies?
The first one. Which,
Okay,
which I thought was pretty good. I mean, it
amazing. Yeah.
it does have great soundtracks.
Soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Animation is unbelievable. It's funny. It's very good story. I love them. It's my hot take.
They are really good.
Yeah.
Trying to think of like a restaurant hot take.
Oh, the only one that I had down was McDonald's breakfasts are by far better than any other fast food breakfast.
Last year, I used to always see you just like eat McDonald's
It's
breakfast.
really
yeah.
bad. It's so terrible.
It depends.
It depends.
Have you guys ever been down? Like, you guys ever been like Mississippi, like down south?
I went
Nah.
to Texas over the summer.
All right, so I went. They have Hardee's down there. I'm assuming Hardee's, Carl's Jr.'s.
I
right?
know what they
Carl's
are.
Jr.'s, yeah.
All right, so I went to Mississippi to visit my aunt, and I had a Hardee's breakfast. First of all, $5 for 2 eggs, hash brown, sausage, like biscuit, like and a drink. Like you cannot,
Dang.
like you're not beating a $5 breakfast in New York. Like I'm so sorry to
Yeah,
break it
that's
to you.
fair. Yeah.
And it was, I would put it definitely better than McDonald's.
Actually, I might retract my statement. Is Cracker Barrel considered fast food? I would say no personally.
Yeah, I'd probably go no. I mean, if
If-
it is, it's on the same level as like Shake Shack, probably in reference to like.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a sit-in fast food place.
I'll say, okay, in terms of all chain restaurants, Cracker Barrel has the best breakfast for
Yeah,
cheap.
that's
They're
solid.
I went for the first time this summer. I'm hooked.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're
Cracker
so
Barrel's
good.
solid place.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Cracker Barrel, Jordan?
Mm-mm.
I would highly suggest. Their pancakes, I don't know what they put in those pancakes, but
I mean, hot take grits are better than oatmeal, but that's a big one. I don't
don't-
know. It depends
know
because
about
not a lot of
that
people
one.
had grits before.
I think I've
I would
not
say-
South grits though. I think it was just I don't know actually. I think I had grits one time this summer.
If you ever have a chance to go down south and have grits, I would say have shrimp and grits. It is
Okay.
like, it's gonna have a special place in your heart.
I did go to Waffle House.
Waffle House is also pretty good.
When I went down to Texas, yeah.
I'm a big Waffle House guy.
I'm not a big Waffle House guy. I like IHOP
Really?
a lot better. Yeah.
Really?
IHOP's really good too.
I went to Waffle House once.
Waffle
and
House is just fun though.
Yeah, I
'cause
also
it
like
was,
waffles though. I'm a big waffle guy.
Mhm.
I like waffles too. I just don't like Waffle House waffles.
I ate waffles for breakfast today actually.
I had
Eggo
pancakes.
waffles, blueberry.
Eggo
Eggos?
thick and fluffy waffles.
Yeah,
those are good. I think what's it called? Waffle House. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name there for a second. I think Waffle House is only so good because of all the memes about it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
that's
the
true. Like,
24
there's like a
hours.
culture behind
Uh-huh.
Waffle
Yeah, or
House.
have you ever seen the one where the guy's just like there's a Waffle House sign and it's just like burnt out and this guy just has like one girl just cooking out waffles.
One hot take I thought of, and I've been doing this for a while now, and I always get like a lot of revolt on this one. Is OJ's better than apple juice?
I agree.
I-
I don't like apple juice at all.
I'm
I
not
feel
a
like
big
orange
apple
juice
juice
is
guy.
So good.
Big OJ.
I
guy.
love
Yeah.
apple juice, but I like orange juice better. That's
And, like,
crazy. You've
yeah.
gotten flack for that. I always
Yeah, a
thought
lot
that.
of it though.
Huh.
Like especially my teammates. Like my teammates are big apple juice people, and I love OJ. Especially like another one, some pulp OJ.
Okay,
Like, a little bit.
interesting.
Back when I was in high school, like every single morning to wake me up, I would just have orange juice.
Yeah.
Like orange juice, I don't know, but
It's like the
I
all
don't know
around
what's
breakfast
about
item.
it, but it's just so good.
It's just it's just
Yeah.
really good.
It like wakes you up too. Like you don't need coffee or like energy drinks. You just need orange juice and you're
Like my drinks
Oh,
in the
man.
morning are either coffee or it's OJ.
yeah.
Well, I think we had so many hot takes in a
Yeah, that was really
short amount of
good.
time. That I think we're
Yeah.
good, and we should move on to the last couple
Wrap it up.
questions here.
I'm ready.
So, The first question, we always ask these last two questions
Okay.
for everyone, but who or what are your inspirations, either for track and field, for throwing, or for life?
Track and field, I model my game around Joe Kovacs, being that he's the same height as me. I mean, like, the only difference is he's a father of 2 kids. But and he's like really good. But those are like the only 2 big differences. But I model my game around him. I mean, he's done like awesome things, being that the 2 best throwers in the world right now are from America. And so Joe Kovacs, Ryan Krauser, Ryan Krauser being number 1. He's 6'7", like 320. Like, he's a specimen of human being. Joe Kovacs, 6 foot, 300, father, married. Like, he's a very attainable character. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's kind of going to be like Joe Kovacs at one point. And so I kind of model my game around him. And then in life, I'm a big history guy. I do enjoy hearing like military stories. So my one person would be Kyle Carpenter, probably. And if you guys ever get a chance to research Kyle Carpenter and hear her story, he was a Marine and he was serving in Operation Enduring Freedom in around, I want to say 2012, 2013. He got the Purple Heart Medal of Honor. And like, long story short, like, he came under fire and a grenade had been thrown on top of his roof, and there was like 4 of his buddies on there, and he actually jumped on top of the grenade to save his 4 buddies' lives. Wow. And he did end up taking a lot of damage, but he ended up saving up all the 4 lives. And like, I feel like that level of like honor, respect to like have for other people around you, and just like that sacrifice aspect to it is like kind of what I want to bring into like my personal life. And I'm also like in criminal justice though, because I don't know if I want to be in the business world or if I want to take a law enforcement route.
Have you ever seen the movie American Sniper?
I have. Great movie.
That is a really good movie.
Great movie.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Crazy that's a true story. But
another one. Cry to it a little bit.
Yeah, I might have too. That was a good one.
That was a great bring up, actually. Really good movie.
Man.
What would you say is next for you after college in life?
Oof, that's a packed question. I don't know. I'm nervous about that one. I don't even know. I mean, I'm a sophomore right now. My dad has a family business in Yonkers that I'm kind of like working to like work with him. And then I'm also looking at law enforcement because I do like helping people. And I like the idea of like being someone that people can look at. And like, there's a strong stigma against police officers, I guess. And I want to be someone that can like change that stigma, especially in New York. And yeah, so I don't really know right now, but I'd love to let you guys know when I know. So
maybe
yeah.
A Wolf of Wall Street-esque.
Maybe, yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, he's also a really good role model. I mean, maybe not, but he's like a pretty good guy to look at.
He's I know he does a lot of public speaking.
Yeah, he's a great speaker now, Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as role model, but perhaps.
No, maybe. I mean, all right. Like, I definitely have to retract my
like
statement
role
on
model
air.
in like the way he like lived his life.
Yeah.
Like
adventurous.
Doing all the bad things, like don't do
very
that.
open-minded
Like,
guy.
adventurous stuff is
Yeah,
that.
so I retract my statement on role model. Just like very open-minded guy. You know, not very fearful, and I hope to bring those aspects into
True.
my life.
The one thing I will say about Jordan Belfort, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's like so good at getting his goals.
He's
Like,
selling stuff too.
yeah, like look at what he got from literally like nothing. He worked his way up from doing nothing. Like
Yeah, and like stealing everyone's money, but like aside from that, like really good,
right.
good
Yeah,
financial guy.
maybe not steal everyone's money.
Yeah,
but
like aside from that part and all the other illegal activities, pretty good guy. Really good speaker though. Like he really knew how to fire up a room.
yeah.
So I hope I could become like that one day.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Being on this podcast. It was a really good one. Really some hot takes in there. Some really good role models, perhaps.
Maybe. I got to think about that one again.
But yes, thank you. And thank you to everyone who's listening every week.
Thank you.
As always, this is the Athletes Roundtable. This is right here to my right.
Jordan.
And Ryan signing off.